Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Travis, I'm thinking of selling my house, but I don't know if I should sell right now.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you. What makes you think about selling your house?
It's a great question. I didn't really have an answer. I know today's topic is, should I sell?
I guess the answer is, it depends.
Absolutely.
I don't always tell you it's the right time to sell your house. I think that's a great way to a bad business.
Right.
But asking those probing questions, digging around a little bit, and maybe in there finding some objections somewhere, overcoming it, I don't know, 10 of those phone calls, maybe if you get 6 or 8 that you're like, yeah, it makes sense based on your situation.
Looking at the circumstances.
And those that you don't, you're honest like, hey, based on what you're telling me, it doesn't seem like selling right now is the best opportunity for you.
And
I think the return call on advice like that from someone is like 98%. Because you know what they can do? They can trust you.
Absolutely. And you bring up a really valid point that I think a lot of people don't think about because, hey, we're getting a divorce. Yep. It's a possibility we're selling. Hey.
Okay, we're going to have to unwrap that one a little bit,
Right.
but any time's a good time to sell when it's a divorce.
All the kids have moved out of the house, or we're having more children, we need a bigger home. All of these things are good reasons to make that sale and move on. But right now, I think one of the things that's coming up that people are questioning, I have a lot of equity. Should I sell? And when you start to factor in, well, the interest rate that we've currently got, and you can't get that right now, even with all the equity that you have. If you buy up, you're eating up all that equity on your next purchase, and with the new interest rates, sometimes that's not necessarily making sense. And I think a lot of people are afraid of that conversation when that's the only reason. Well, yeah, I just made $500,000 in equity, so I want to use it up and get something bigger. Okay, but does that actually make financial sense long term? And I think that conversation is something that's really on everybody's mind right now with we had the perfect storm. Low interest rates for so long, a lot of inflation or appreciation in the house values, and we've got money to spend, but does it make sense to spend it right now?
Very true. I don't know. Got to ask a few more questions.
Exactly.
How about Proposition 19? I think that's coming around the corner.
Yeah, that should be interesting as far as what, how that's going to affect our market and things of that nature, but I don't know. I always when we bring up, it's a personal thing, when we bring up propositions and things of that nature, I always feel like these things change and that the rules change often with circumstances, so I try not to get too tied into them.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there.
We have a disagreement.
I think it's a good opportunity. It's got to keep up to date, but you bring up a very good point. I shall allow these people to remain nameless, but I literally, within the last week or two, a video came up on one of the social medias. I'm like, I'm going to watch this. And this person went to explain the benefits of Proposition 60 and 90 and why you should use them.
Okay. They're gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't even exist anymore. And I thought, should I call this person who I know and say, dude, you need to pull that down? And I just decided, you know what? No, I don't want to embarrass them. And
I thought it was a trick question.
No, that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
I was like, wow, but that kind of speaks to what you're saying. I mean, these things do change from time to time. But it was put in place. It's supposed to be this big boondoggle for Californians to be able to take their tax base with them wherever they want in California.
Right.
So hopefully that'll allow some people to move who want to move. Open up a door that otherwise wasn't there.
It does have its benefits, and there were its pros and cons when that passed, and it just depends. Again, we go back to the situation and really what we're trying to accomplish. So,
yeah, I guess the big point is if someone asks you, "Hey, is now the time to sell?" That's not a one-word answer of yes or no. It's you got to unwrap that
Absolutely.
And find out what their needs are. And be honest. And, there may be challenges, but you can help them overcome those. And there may be some, don't ever guess the market.
Yep.
Say, no, now's a terrible time to buy or to sell. Let's wait. The market's going to go up. Whoa, I would never recommend that.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. I always try to hesitate from going to short-term thinking when you're in a situation, unless you're talking to an investor or a flipper, where you're talking about immediate things. But knowing the circumstances, again, you get asked that question. It's really about, that's what we're here to find out.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got to dive in and we've got to probe and figure out all the entire situation, all the circumstances, so we can make sure that that we are providing good information to you so that you can make a good educated decision.
There you go.
All right.
That's how you keep client for life.
Exactly. Building the relationships.
All right.